let's do a deep dive of the black women in the Big Brother house. Well, not a deep dive because I'm not going that deep. I'm really not. I don't have that kind of time. And, analytics show that people don't really watch videos to the end anyhow. So why go that deep? But what I do want to say is these ladies crawled so Taylor can ball. That's right, everybody. The black women that came before Taylor set the stage for her win this past week. Now, my question is, was Taylor just a better player than them? Let's ponder that for a while. Take some notes. No, we don't have that kind of time. I'm just like filling up some airspace. But was Taylor a better player than Danielle Reyes, who came in second place exactly 20 years before Taylor won? That's a fact that someone stated on another vlog. Like, it was 20 years to the date that Danielle Reyes came in second place. Now, I'm going to go out here on a limb and say Taylor did not play a game nearly as stellar as Danielle played. It's just that the cast did not want to vote for her because they felt like she deceived them. Go figure. Deception on Big Brother. Now, I know this was an earlier season, so I guess these people just didn't understand that this is a game of whispering, lies, and deception. And Danielle was simply doing what she had to do, and it got her to second place. However, I felt like there was some biasness, some racism possibly, as to why she did not win that season. And maybe they just weren't ready to, put a black woman up on a pedestal. That was pre-Obama being president. So, they weren't ready. They weren't ready for Danielle. But then, like, seasons later, and we're not going to go into every single black woman that has gone through the Big Brother house, but I will point out some notable, I guess, mentions, like Jamaica of season 8. Jamaica made a splash that season. Jamaica actually made it to final 4, or was it final 3? I can't remember right now. I should have done my research, but hey, this is all off the dome. I'm just making this stuff up not making it up. It's just coming up in my brain as I speak. So this is just off the dome, right? So Jamaica actually, and this is when I tuned back into Big Brother. This was like in 2007, or was it still 2006? No, it was 2007. Summer of 2007, because I started talking to one of my coworkers about Big Brother every day at work. So Jamaica was up against Evil Dick, who's gone down in the Big Brother Hall of Fame as one of the most famous, volatile people in the house. He even came back for All Stars, but he had to leave because he was HIV positive. He was in the house with his daughter, whose name is also Danielle, and he took her to final 2. Although they had an estranged relationship, he still took his daughter to final 2. So Jamaica was up against Evil Dick, who was always in her face. And, Jamaica was one of the first people on reality TV who was, instituted the clapping. You will not get my face, and Jamaica was like the Christian of the show. Like, she always was reading her Bible and always on her knees praying. So Jamaica set the stage for other black women to come. Like, we are going to cast religious black women, which brings me to Jocasta with the bow tie. I don't really have to say much about her game. I just remember that bow tie. It was kind of, she kind of seemed crazy because she wore a bow tie with every outfit. And like some of you might know, when women wear flowers in their heads all the time, they might be a little loony. So I'm assuming people who do these things like, I'm going to wear a bow tie every day, might be a little loony. But off of Jocasta, I'm sure she's a nice lady. And then there's Shima. Shima, went off, So it's like, who are they casting when they're casting black women? It seems as though they were trying to cast the angry black women. But half of the women, or most of the women, never gave them the angry black woman that they wanted. They wanted this clapback queen that some would say Jamaica gave them. And that's who they started casting after that. I mean, Jamaica was a nice girl, but, she's more or less a don't start none, won't be none type of person. So then, it's like they started another trend of casting these pageant queens. And that brings me to the next person from season 15. And I feel like this season You say Taylor endured so much bullying. No, no, no. And I said this in another video. Go back to season 15 and see what Candace Stewart experienced. And the funny thing is, Candace was Miss Louisiana, runner up in Miss USA pageant, and Taylor was actually Miss Michigan. Both were pageant girls, and both were bullied by women in the house. But, we talk about what Taylor went through. They just did her dirty. But no, they actually got physical, almost physical with Candace. Like, they invaded her personal space. Like, Gina Marie got in her face. They accused her being dirty, if you will. Like, they questioned her hygiene because she wasn't washing her hair every day like they were, so they were calling her dirty. And they questioned the way she pronounced words like ask. They said it's not ask, and they were like, and I thought you were supposed to be a speech pathologist. And she pointed out, that's a dialect. I'm from Louisiana. That's a dialect to say ask. But they really came down hard on Candace. So I say Candace crawled so Taylor could ball. That was just season 15. Season 15, we're now season 24. So that was some time ago. But that stands out in my mind. And that brings me to Davon. People love Davon. I don't feel any sort of way about Davon. I don't personally think that she was the best player to play the game. I respect her because I'm always going to root for the black people in the house. I'm always rooting for underdogs in general. So if you're an underdog in the Big Brother house, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to root for you. So, but Davon, talked a lot. She gave a lot of energy. She was a single mom, and people love her even to this day. People always, I saw in my comments, somebody said Taylor needed somebody like Davon to, help her out in the game. Davon came back for All Stars or another season, and, she did better. She won a competition, but Davon never won. And then that brings us to Tiffany. Tiffany, who's revered now because of her strategy work on the cookout. And, people love Tiffany, but people also hate Tiffany. Like, people are conflicted. Like, there's one hand people love her, and then there's the other hand people hate her. Like, oh, Tiffany was the one. She's my favorite. She had the strategy for the cookout. Then there's, oh, Tiffany was an embarrassment because of her sexual behavior in the house and her being selfish, they say, because she won the HOH that she wasn't supposed to win. And so she was the first of the cookout to be kicked out. So is there a debate? Was Tiffany actually that great of a player like everybody says? Or just people were biased because they liked Tiffany as a black woman in the house, and some people liked the way she moved and some people hated the way she moved? That's still up for debate. And I know people are going to say, well, what about Hannah and Azza? What about them? They were there. They're doing their thing on the outside, making a splash on the vlogs. But we're talking about the people in the past when they were the only black women in the house. Like, they had to stand on their own and face all of the adversity, the bullying, the comments. Like, Libra was called the colored girl in the house. Like, these people endured a lot so Taylor could get to where she is. And I will note that Tamar Braxton was actually the first black woman to win Big Brother. However, we don't count that because it was Celebrity Big Brother and they're not in the house as long as everybody else. And it was Celebrity Big Brother once again. So shout out to Tamar Braxton before she starts saying lies you tell. Have you had enough though, Big Brother, or do you still want to talk about it? Like, let me know. Drop it to the comments and like and subscribe.